So, Kiz, on the baseball side of things, yesterday, obviously just a clunker. Does it almost surprise you guys when that happens? And I say that because you've been playing such good baseball that almost now when we're watching you guys on TV or at the stadium, you just expect to almost sweep every series. But, hey, this is baseball. You play 162. A game like yesterday is going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's the same feeling we have on the team right now. We've been playing good baseball for a long time now, and I think it's a good feeling to have in the clubhouse is we're going to win every single game, and if we lose, it's like, oh my God, how do we lose that game? And I think that's a good spot to be, especially this time of the year, because all that matters right now is winning. And we feel like if we don't win a game, it's like, man, what do we do? Usually we're coming back, usually somebody's stepping up. But you know what? We also understand that's a part of the game. You can't win 162 in a row. You can't win 30 games in a row. I mean, it's just impossible. You're playing good teams and good players. So I think the key is bouncing back, coming out today and playing good baseball and getting back in the win column.
So one of the big storylines, obviously Albert, because he's mocking Father Time, right? I mean, he's running bases. It's unbelievable to see what he's doing outside of the homers. But the other day, pinch hit, 8th inning, 2-run homer to win it for you guys. And right before the at-bat, Ross goes out there and talks to the pitcher, and we were discussing it amongst ourselves on the panel here, and we kind of figured Ross is like an old school guy. He's like, we're not going to let's not walk this guy. Let's give him a chance to earn it, right? I mean, that's fair. We're not going to pitch around him. Were you surprised that they didn't walk him? Because I was shocked. And then to add to my shock was that they threw him fastballs.
Yeah. We've kind of talked about this situation too. A couple guys on the team, like why would they pitch to him? I don't necessarily think they were trying to give him a great pitch to hit. In that situation, I think they're like, we're going to pitch to him, but we're going to try to let him get himself out type of thing. We're not going to just give in and give him one right down the middle, which, he ended up getting a good pitch to hit. So if they walked in there, they walk him, then you have the double play set up, with a lefty on deck. That's probably what he told him. I just think the pitcher, we're not robots out there. I think the pitcher made a mistake, and, the impressive thing is Albert was ready for it. And, a lot of times in those situations, some guys might think, oh, they're not going to throw to me. Maybe they're not quite as ready to hit. But Albert's always ready to do damage, and when he got his pitch, he did not miss it.
And, Kiz, I know you didn't catch yesterday, but Jack Flaherty coming back, about as good of an outing you could ask for first time back. 5 innings, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. What'd you see in watching him, and also how big of a boost can that be for you guys if Jack is kind of the old Jack Flaherty?
I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, his velo, he popped a couple 97s in there having his velo back is like the number one thing we were all kind of looking at in the dugout. Is like, what's his velo? What's his slider moving like? What's his off speed? I thought his command was good. I thought it actually was a little tight zone yesterday. I thought he was making some pitches, just off the plate and wasn't getting a few. But I thought he looked good. He competed, had some guys on in some tough spots, and was able to get out of it. I think that those are the things you look for, less about the stat line. Stat line takes care of itself, but I thought his fastball slider looked good, command was good, and kind of maneuvered out of some situations with guys on. So I thought good outing from Flaherty, and I think if he can turn it on here down the stretch, it's going to be huge for us.
I have a couple of questions about PitchCom, which I know you guys have embraced, right? For me, for one, to me, there's got to be a couple old school guys who don't like that because they're used to the rhythm of looking at the signs and shaking off. But I think watching your staff, pretty much guys have come to terms with it. But watching other games and even some Cardinal games, I've seen PitchCom malfunctions. I've seen times where the pitcher can't hear. And I wonder, as you guys get closer to the postseason and the crowds get even louder and the energy's been great at Busch, if that's something that's bound to fail once you get into a postseason scenario where the crowds are even louder.
Yeah, it seems like that's the number one problem with PitchCom, other than, maybe they're not quite charged up and they run out of battery and you just have to swap out the unit or whatever. But I think the crowd noise is definitely going to play a factor. They have, for me, I have a little tube that runs out of my my unit in my catching helmet, and the tube runs down to my ear, so the sound, doesn't project out so the hitter can hear. So it's kind of like a little headphone. I think in the postseason, we're probably going to have to. They have little little headphone ear plugs where you can actually plug it into your ear. I think that we might have to probably use that so the sound is directly in your ear and you can hear it clearly. But we'll see how that goes over the next couple of weeks.
All right, last thing for you till you talk about energy. Pujols said the other day in his post-game interview that he was thinking about it the other day. He said he's been here a long time, much longer than you, or at least for a long stretch before he left town. And he's been through some great moments at Busch Stadium. He said he can't remember a time where it was actually louder than it's been. What has the energy been like in the ballpark for you guys?
Everybody's been talking about it on the team. Busch Stadium has been outstanding this year. Whether it's a combination of, Pujols, Yachty last season, we're playing good baseball, we're in first place. I mean, all those things kind of contribute to, more fans coming to Busch, fans getting more excited at Busch. So we don't know quite what it is, probably a combination of everything happening. It's just an exciting season, and fans are really showing out, and it makes the players feel good. It makes the players want to play even harder when the stadium is rocking like it has been. So we love it. We love the fans, and they've been doing an excellent job this year.
So, kids, you guys have opened up a big lead over the Brewers in the division, 7.5 games. Now, the Mets they're 6 games up on you guys, but that bye in the first round, I mean, it'd be tough to get, but your guys' schedule is also pretty gettable. How big of a goal is that to try to run down the Mets for that first round bye?
Yeah, it's there. We have 2 teams ahead of us, Mets and the Braves. So it's going to be tough. I mean, we got 2 good teams ahead of us, kind of fighting. One of those teams possibly could get that spot. Our goal is simple. We just keep winning games. We're not trying to think too much about doing too much. So we just think if we just keep winning games, things will take care of itself. But certainly we have talked about it, and guys recognize that it's reachable. But like I said, we're not going to try to put any extra pressure on ourselves. We're just going to go out and play the game hard.